Salt for new saltwater aquarium. That's right, guys. For all everybody new, this is a saltwater aquarium, and we're going to be adding salt. A lot of people wanted to know what salt was I going with, and I'm going to start the system with instant ocean. So as you guys can see, the tank is up, tank is running, everything's looking fine. I did not add salt for the simple fact I need to make sure all the plumbing, everything was snug tight. We don't want leaks. Obviously, this is a custom built aquarium. I did have faith in Exotic Aquariums on building this system. That's right, Exotic Aquariums is the one that built this system for me. They're located in Miami, Florida. If you guys would like, go ahead and look them up. Tell them Rico sent you. If you're thinking about getting into custom tanks, they're one company that's been around a very long time. And when I mean very long, 40 years. So they have done quite a few people in the hobby, big name people. But they did an excellent job. But at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure that my system would hold water. I want to make sure everything's fine, everything is level as level could be, everything's working properly, finding out where my water height's going to be, do I need to add more flow or whatnot. As you guys can see, for as good as you can, I'm loving it. The look that you get prior to adding water, it was good, but with the water and everything settled down, cleared up, it really looks awesome. I think I did an excellent job, and yeah, I mean, night and day, I've been down here just staring at it for hours, to be quite frank. So it's time to get to adding salt. So I'm going to take you into the next room. I'm going to talk to you a little bit as I add salt. There are some things that I need to probably ask you guys, but let's get over there first. All right, guys, just adding salt. So what I was saying, as we, had to move the camera and come into this room, there were some questions I had for you guys. Now, please give me your honest opinion on the questions that I'm about to ask. Okay? Trying to do that without screwing up my back. So, questions I have, or concerns that I personally have, let's be honest. My concerns to you guys is not using any kind of dead rock or live rock. That's my concern. I'm honestly a little terrified of starting up a system with not 1 ounce of live rock. Something that's going to give me some sponges, some biodiversity in the system. Now, some people say, well, you're going to get it from frag plugs, blah, blah, blah. Well, I probably won't. I might get a little bit off of corals, and we'll get into that later. But right now, some people think I'm crazy, and I think I'm probably a little bit cuckoo myself for doing this or thinking about doing this with not 1 ounce of or a piece of live rock. So, your guys' opinion. Should I, and I know people are going to be like, hey, Rico, you know what? Do you, brother, do you. And that's fine. And I get that. But hey, I think that this hobby is a beautiful thing. I think using social media is a beautiful thing. It brings people together. It lets people collaborate with one another, talk about things that might be bothering one another. I talk to tons of people that are going through certain issues with their system, and at the end of the day, a fair exchange never been a robbery in my book. So I'm coming to you guys and asking you guys, what's your thoughts on the live rock. Now I know people are going to say, Rico, you know, you get a lot of bad stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but Rico's also been doing this since '96. I understand the good, the bad, the ugly. With that being said, there are ways to definitely eradicate some of these nuisance pests. Are they easy at times? Sometimes no. But for the most part, you can eradicate them. Okay? Now, Majanos and stuff like that, and I know people, they can really take over a system. Some people love them. Some people dedicate whole systems to Majanos and stuff. Okay? But they do sting and, you know, irritate other corals and kill corals and stuff like that. That's all fine. But the point is, what I'm trying to make is, would you guys do that with your own system? Now, meaning without doing anything. What's your guys' experience doing it? How long did it take for your system to actually jumpstart and you're able to keep SPS corals and blah, blah, blah? Okay, me personally, I've never done this, not one time in my whole existence of reef keeping. Okay, so it's really, quite honestly, new for me. Starting off a system with straight death. There's nothing there. No biodiversity, no sponges, no nothing. There's nothing in this system. Completely strict clean, starting clean, really highly clean. DI, using DI water, reverse osmosis, deionized water, stuff like that. Completely sterile system. I've never done that. So I'm coming to you guys, wanting to know you guys' opinion. Now here, let me clarify one other thing up. Let me empty this salt real quick. Get this in here while we're talking. And yes, I'm just dumping it in, letting it dissolve in my Marineland Deep Dimension 60-gallon Deep Dimensions tanks, because I find it quite easier and gives it a chance to go into my filter socks. And if there's any kind of debris or whatever, it's going to get cleaned out. I can change the filter socks, wash them out, get rid of whatever. Plus the sand that I put in there and the cloudiness all went into those filter socks. So, anyway, back to what I was asking you guys. Now, this goes across the whole board. It doesn't matter if you've been in a hobby one day or been in a hobby 30, 40, 50 years. It doesn't matter, okay? Time, it doesn't matter, okay? But here's what I want you to do, or understand, should I say. Because this hobby is really, I feel a lot of times, based off of regurgitated information, okay? And what I mean by that, it's something that you've heard from somebody or something that you've read on a forum, whatever the case may be, right? And you just say, when somebody has something, you remember what you read, so you just said, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. That is wrong for this hobby. That is really bad and really wrong, okay? And the reasons why, I'm getting to that here in 1 second. Let me open this box. Okay. The reasons why it's bad is because it's not information that you've experienced, that you've seen with your own two eyes, that the good Lord upstairs blessed you with. Okay? It's something that you've heard. Therefore, that means you don't know if that truly holds an actual leg for you to stand on. You don't know if it's, you know, true advice or true whatever it is that you read. Okay? You're just regurgitating what somebody else said. That's very bad for the hobby. That's why the hobby is the way it is. People are so misled, don't understand, you know, or have a real hard time grabbing the concept of how a reef aquarium even works. Now, there's a lot of things in this hobby we do not understand. I don't understand. There's people that have been doing it longer than me that could not give you an actual answer on whatever it is. And I've talked about this several times on my live streams. That doesn't mean that you're, you know, not good at what you're doing. Doesn't mean that because you've been in the hobby 30 years and you don't know the answer to one thing, oh, you must be blowing smoke up somebody's butt. No, the hobby's already filled with a lot of misinformation, okay? And I'm not going to sit up here and say my information's right at all. I'm going to say things based off of my experience in the years in this hobby. And you can take it for what it's worth, okay? At the end of the day, I'm here. I have my system, and I was doing it before YouTube or any kind of social media, and I will continue to do it after YouTube, or if there's all social media was to shut down. It's my hobby. I enjoy it. It's my musa. It's my relaxation. I truly enjoy this hobby. I love this hobby enough for me to be doing what I'm doing right now, speaking to you guys about what it is that we're doing here. So, the information, it's okay. We want you to leave comments. I want you to leave your honest opinion. Now, that's an opinion. Now, if you've never experienced or what I'm talking about here, making a decision on adding a piece of live rock to the whole dead system to get some kind of biodiversity or not, just say, hey, I've never had any experience in it, but, you know, I'm kind of thinking like, you know, it kind of makes sense to maybe not do any live rock just because of, you know, a lot of the nastiness that you can possibly get that can hurt your system. Or, yes, but you do have to, you know, you might be at risk at receiving some of it. That is how things should be done and how we should talk to one another when it comes to this hobby and make people understand that, hey, you know what? He doesn't know, but at the same time, his thought process maybe makes sense. Then it's up to you to go ahead and take that information and go either utilize it for yourself, or if you have, and then speak. If you have done it and you know you have experience with it, then share it. Share those experiences with people. In this hobby, there's no race to know it all. There's no race to be the man in this hobby. This hobby is for us to be blessed to be able to talk to one another, to share one another's experience, and to grow together. That's what this hobby is all about. We've got people from all over the world, from, you know, from everywhere, from China to India to UK to Europe, Germany. We got tons of people that's constantly on YouTube searching for information. So it's a great platform to be able to share those information. But what we do have to do is understand that we have to share from our own personal experience. And understand that just because you had a negative experience with one way of doing something, that doesn't mean, and this is what really hurts the hobby as well, that doesn't mean that the next person will have or share the same experience as you. Okay? I'm going to just be honest. That doesn't mean that. You could have had a very nasty experience and the next person did exactly the same thing that you did and had a positive experience. Now, here's the trick to that. There's multiple reasons why. It could be because of the system size, overall system size, overall the amount of surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow on. There's multiple, the lighting, the scheduling, the hours that things are being ran, protein skimmer, no protein skimmer, Chaeto, no Chaeto, algae scrubber, no scrubber. There are millions, sand, no sand. There's a million reasons why. One person can do the exact same thing and the next person does not get the same results. Okay? But do all reef tanks run the same? Or should I say, share the same care requirements? Of course they do. They all need light. They all need water. They all need some kind of form of phosphate, nitrates, calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, manganese, bromines, all these minor trace elements and everything else. Now, to what extent, we can't answer that. And if somebody can, please do, and it would be the first. So, there's tons of things or reasons why the systems, we say, no two systems run the same. Okay? Those are what we mean. But at the end of the day, what makes a saltwater system is all the same. Okay, you got a box, you got water, you got salt. The salt contains different kinds of major and minor trace elements, and we're going to have light. Because without light, we have nothing anyway. Us ourselves couldn't live without the sun. We need water. We need potassium, magnesium. We need calcium for our bones. We need alkalinity. Our bodies need to be alkaline or whatever. If you took the science between us as being humans and applied them to your reef aquarium and understand the care requirements that we have, you will find out that reef systems and us as being humans are not too far off. So I know that might be a lot over in a lot of people's heads, but that's my thinking. That's the way I started thinking. I started looking at things when I was young in the hobby. I didn't have no idea, no clue, constantly melting things, didn't have no true understanding. Back then there was no YouTube, there wasn't no really social media, there was a forum, a couple forums out, there was a magazine that only came out once a month, and it was all regurgitated information from one or a couple people that were just being mini scientists. That's how we got to this point in the hobby today. It took those people's trials and errors, including myself, to understand some of the things on why things happen the way they do in the system. So this video is going to be a little bit long, but I think it's a good Sunday. Today is Sunday, so if you guys see this in the future, I'm making this video today is Sunday, and I'm going to try to put it out today because there's really no sense of me editing anything. This is just the way I'm thinking, and I think it's a good conversation to have to help you guys sit back, relax, listen, maybe think about what I'm saying, and help you out with whatever it is with your reef tank aquariums. Now, the whole thing was, adding salt to this, but also my question was about the live rock. If it was yours, what would you do? Would you do it or not? Meaning, would you add a piece of live rock or no live rock? That's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of juggling that really bad. I'm actually sleeping on it, having dreams about it, the whole 9 yards. And so it's bothered me. So that's why I'm bringing it to you guys, for you guys to sit down and really think about what I'm saying and really give it some thought. Really, truly give it some thought. Don't rush back a comment on impulsion just to say something back. No, think about what I'm saying when it comes to a saltwater aquarium. And if it was yours, that's what I'm asking for. And also, keep in mind, all comments are welcome, okay? I don't care that you are a week into this hobby. I don't care about that. What I care about is, what's your opinion, and also making sure that when you state an opinion, if you have not experienced, just simply saying, hey, I have no experience, but, X, Y, and Z kind of equals up to this to me, and I'm kind of feeling maybe or leaning towards this or leaning towards that because of these reasons. I love you for that. That is what it takes in this hobby. Don't try to be the man. Try to help others out. Who cares about being the man? I truly, honestly don't. Okay? What I do care about is making sure that people are giving out correct information, that people are wanting to share with one another and help each other out. That's what I'm about. That's what I have been about. And that's what I'm going to continue to be about. Period, point blank. I want to see more people grow. I want to see more people into this hobby. I took a step out and jumped into freshwater planted aquarium. Excuse me. I have never done that in my whole entire life. But you know what? I chose to do that because I want to be able to communicate with that side of the hobby as well. Planted aquariums, I think I've done freshwater, so yes, I can talk about freshwater. But planted aquariums, no, I have never done. And I took the leap and chose to set up a 65 JBJ freshwater planted aquarium. So, and it's rocking and rolling, and I'll give you guys an update later on that. But for right now, guys, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. With that being said, as you guys see, using Instant Ocean in here, letting it all mix. I keep stirring it up. I actually got my little wand here. Stir it up. Let it dissolve. Water is good. Oh, one more thing, guys, before you go. For you guys that are still here. I know a lot of people like to hurry up and check out when they think a video is about to be done. So they get to miss some things sometimes. One more thing. I need a pretty decent heater, controller, I think. I do have an Apex. I don't know if I really want to run heating off the Apex or whatnot. I might run one and then another one separate on the system. So also let me know about that. What's a good heat? And an auto top off. I need the auto top off as well. What do you guys suggest for this system as far as the auto top off? So I think that's about it. So I guess I'm going to hit you guys like inappropriate reefer.